Hiya! So I don't know about you, but the end of my 2023, it was a Mr. Toad's wild ride. But now it's the first week of a new year. I'm feeling pretty hopeful, and I thought I would celebrate by just doing a very cozy craft. I'm making taper candles and just chatting about my goals for the year ahead. But before we get into all of that, I just want to say welcome back to my channel. I'm Kaylee, and if you're new around here, I share all about how to live a more intentional and purposeful life that is cozy, creative, and magical. And by the way, I'm going to be sharing everything that I'm using for this crafty home project in the description box below. Just popping in here really quick to say that although I'm going to be talking about setting goals and New Year's resolutions, please don't feel like you have to hit the ground running or anything like that come January 1st. You can just take it easy. I hope this video is cozy for you to watch and relaxing and just helps you to rest up because you deserve it. Okay, so I'm gonna let that heat up and melt. So I have my bucket list here. I'll leave that linked in the description box below. I think that's what I want to do now while I make my little candles, is just kind of like go through the little buckets and what they all mean for me and what I'm focusing on with each of those camps throughout 2024. So one of the main goals that I want to focus on this year is continuing on my suburban homesteading journey. I am just starting out. I'm a very beginner. You know, growing up, we didn't have a garden or like grow our own food or anything like that. And I'd like to just connect more with my home and where I live and the food that we eat. And one way I want to do that is replacing 24 pantry staples. Things that we typically buy at the store that we can easily learn to grow ourselves or make ourselves. I want to do that. I talked to my oldest daughter about it. She wants to do it with me. I think this month we're going to try to learn how to make sandwich bread and butter. I'm excited. I'm excited to learn a new skill and try something different. In that same vein, I want to start a garden. I've wanted to start a garden since we moved in here 5 years ago. It just never happened. I'm really overwhelmed by it, if I'm being perfectly honest. That's why I haven't started it. I have no idea where to start or what to do. I'm just gonna throw myself into it and trust that I will figure it out. The next main goal that I have is something that I started doing last year and was so good for my mental health, which is meal prepping every single week. It just takes so much off my mental load and it really helped me out. I loved it. I want to do more of it this year. My mantra for the year is buy hand and second hand. And that ties into my next goal, which is to DIY or thrift at least 80 to 90% of the decor in our house. So when my husband and I were talking a little bit about like what we wanted to do this year, the big thing was like we want to finish our house and just like get it done, because we have so many rooms that are like 75 to 90% done, but no room is like 100% decorated, organized, completely finished. And our urge was to immediately like go and buy little tchotchkes or curtains, things like that to finish each room. But I want to challenge myself to pause. I want to create more than I consume. I want to make it myself. If I can't make it, I want to thrift it. Hence why she's making candles today. Next, I want to take an herbalism course. I already signed up for one with Herbal Academy. It is herbs for ADHD. I haven't started it yet. I'm very excited to do so. If you've taken one of their courses below, please feel free to let me know your thoughts, because I would be very interested in hearing them. And then last, the main thing that we really want to do in our home is, you can kind of see them behind me. We have these like IKEA bookshelves that just get torn apart by our kids. It's kind of an eyesore. So I really want to change that and make like a cozy reading nook in that area. That's the one like big decor project that I have. Okay, and with that, I think the wax is melted now. We can get to dipping. The next category I'm focusing on, and I think is where I have my loftiest goals. I shouldn't say lofty. They're still like, they're big, but they're manageable, they're achievable. And that is the creative aspect. This is one area I feel like I've been slacking the most. And the main reason, I'm really embarrassed to say, is because I spend a lot of my time scrolling. Just whenever I need a break throughout the day, my go-to is always to check Instagram or TikTok or Pinterest even on my phone, and I get sucked into a vortex of endless scrolling when I could be spending that time doing things that actually make a positive impact on my mental health and make me feel creative and are also functional, like especially things that I can wear or use around my home. And the first thing that I want to do to ensure that is to take a pottery class. I keep missing the sign up for our local one, so I tried I think 2 times to get signed up in the last few months. I have a reminder set on my phone. I'm gonna try to get signed up, but that is one thing I really, really want to do. Okay, now this is the lofty goal. I want to sew 24 new wardrobe items for my closet this year. That averages about 2 per month, considering I think I only made 12 things last year. It might have even been less. It's a big jump, but again, I think it's achievable. I think I can do it. In tandem with that, I want to knit 6 new garments, or knit or crochet, I should say. 6 new garments for my wardrobe. I'm averaging about 1 every 2 months. So in total, I should have 30 new pieces for my wardrobe. The next goal really ties in with my desire to be more sustainable and to craft more sustainably, and that is to work through my fabric stash and my fabric scraps. I have made it a habit to buy fabric, and I will say, I don't buy a lot of new fabric. I do tend to thrift a lot of fabric, but I'm still not making anything with it. It's to the point where I am running out of room. I shouldn't even say running out. I'm out of room in my sewing basement for any new fabric. I cannot fit any more. The last one is something that I started doing last year. It brought me so much joy, and I want to just dig in even deeper this year, and that is to make the majority of my gifts for all the holidays. I did this mostly with my kids, making them like sweaters for Christmas. I made a little teddy bear for my daughter for Easter or Ostera, because we also celebrate the pagan Sabbats. It brought me immense joy. It brought them a lot of joy, and it makes me really glad when they open something and they enjoy it and they use it and they get all giddy for it, and I made it. So I just want to continue to do that even more. More gifts, more handmade gifts for the holidays. The next focus is magical, which is my spirituality journey, self-care, and self-improvement. I'm not going to share all of my goals from these categories just because some of them are pretty personal, but I'll share a couple with you. Number 1 is something that I already brought up within my spirituality journey, which is my tarot journal or my tarot grimoire. I have really gotten into journaling, not just with the tarot, but just in general this year. It's been so transformative. It's a practice that I have come to really, really cherish, and doing it with the tarot is just even more special too. Within the self-care sphere, I talked a little bit about my depression and ADHD. So one of my goals is to really focus on figuring that out. I spend a lot of time working against my brain and really hating my brain a lot of the time just for operating the way that it does. And instead, I think this year I want to try a new approach, which is to learn to work with it. Practices that have helped me to do that are things like a morning walk and meditation and journaling. I've seen so many more benefits from doing those kinds of things and just embracing my delightfully chaotic broken brain than working against it. So in order to help it out, I really want to prioritize my sleep, rest when I need it, and also focusing on my nutrition for ADHD. That herbalism class is part of it, and really just noticing how different foods, herbs, supplements, whatever, how they affect me. One thing I tried earlier this year, or in 2023 I should say, is cutting out caffeine, and that's helped me. I'm celebrating a dry January this month to see how eliminating alcohol affects my brain and my overall mental health. And yeah, I'm just excited to learn a little bit more about that and dig in a little deeper with that. And the last little bucket within this one is self-improvement. If you have visited my Patreon, you will know that one of my goals for 2024 is to read 40 books. Since October, I've been making it a point to read more. October is when shit really hit the fan over here, but having the ability to escape into a good book at the end of the night and relax with was such a game changer. I think it really, really helped my overall mental health and just helped me unwind, and yeah, it was just a joy. And the next for self-improvement is to complete a no buy or low buy month. So this really, again, factors into that previous mantra of like buy hand and second hand. I just want to make sure that I'm utilizing what I already have. I think it's just one of those things that not only is it better for the planet, but better for my wallet and my financial well-being. And the last thing I'm very excited is to volunteer at least once a month. I've just signed up for my first volunteer opportunity with one of my local metro parks that's coming up this weekend, and I can't wait to do it. So I'm excited to start on that journey and do more of that throughout the year. I swapped out for a larger pitcher for my water. I guess that brings me to my final category. On the bucket list that you can download that's linked down below, I left a blank space so you can kind of fill in with whatever category you want. For mine, I chose my brand, Maiden Mother, this channel. The biggest thing that I want to do is post more frequently over here. Again, this goes into my word of the year, which is trust. I feel like one of the reasons I'm pretty inconsistent over here is because I just have a lot of imposter syndrome and a lot of analysis paralysis mostly. I'm kind of realizing now, especially after some of the things that I've gone through over the last year, it's not my job to determine what is good or worthy, right? Firmly believe that my content and these videos will find the people that it is meant to find. Yeah, I'm gonna stop beating myself up so much about it so that I can actually just like show up and do the dang thing. In keeping with that, I do not have a sustainable workflow, and one of my main goals is to develop one. I've seen a lot of YouTubers that I like to follow who are stepping back and taking breaks so that they can prevent burnout, and I am such a fan. I love it. I love this conversation that is happening right now around work and mental health and how they should work together and not fight each other. Being a work from home, homeschooling mom of 2 little kids, it just requires so much from you, and I really want to be present for my kid. That's the one thing that I want to give my children is my presence. I never want to miss out because I'm busy doing something else. But because of that, my time that I can dedicate to this channel and to the content that I create is very limited, and it often results in me just backing myself up into a corner or rushing things or feeling rushed, staying up until like 2 o'clock in the morning editing videos and then feeling like trash the whole next day. And it doesn't need to be like that. And it shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't be like that for me or for anybody. And so I'm really determined to focus on figuring out what does work for me and honoring that so that I can better show up and serve this community, because I'll tell you what, you guys are nothing but amazing. And anytime I come over here and post a video and somebody comments on it or signs up for my newsletter or reaches out, like it genuinely brings me so much joy and is like, it's a source of positivity for me. So I feel like this is definitely a place where I should be. This is definitely a place where I want to be. It only makes sense to find out a way to continue to be here and show up here and serve you guys in a way that also serves me. Like, I only want positive things for all of us. I want you to have a good time when you're here. I want me to have a good time over here. I want us to just like party down, essentially. It's a vibe. But as I mentioned before, I hope that no matter what you're doing, if you are doing anything come January 1st, I hope it's something that brings you a lot of joy and helps you get the rest and relaxation or the creative fulfillment that you need and deserve. And again, if you are somebody who is like me and you just really enjoy planning in the winter months, that bucket list again is linked in the description box below. And if you found this video comforting or valuable, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you have not already. If you made it this far into the video, I love you and appreciate you so much for watching, and a huge thank you to my patrons over on Patreon. Without your support, I couldn't make videos like this. So again, thank you so much. Again, I love you and appreciate you so much for watching. Happy New Year. I will catch you in the next video, and until then, stay cozy, stay creative, and stay magical.